Hey gang, Bill Dragoo with Dart. We're going to talk about some of the extra components that are on this bike. We've got some major players. We've got Black Dog, we've got Touratech, we've got Woody's Wheels. These are big guys in the business relative to some of the others that are also doing a really good job for us in the adventure riding community. Folks that support us, and I hope that we can continue to support as well. So let's just work our way around a little bit with some of these smaller items that are also very, very important. Doubletake mirrors. Ned Seuss designed these mirrors. Ned Seuss, of course, being the fellow who's one of the few Americans to finish the Dakar rally. Super guy. If you've ever had a chance to meet him individually, I know that you'll agree, or personally, I know that you'll agree. But his mirrors are just fantastic. He uses the ram mounts for the general mounting of these mirrors, and then he has his own design for the mirror head. These mirrors cost about as much as one factory mirror, and yet they don't break like the factory mirrors do. And they don't risk the rest of your components on the motorcycle. If you break a perch here for a clutch lever, for example, which the mirror is mounted to, then you have double trouble, let's just say that. But so you can pull the mirror off and you can mount anything else that you want here also. And these mirrors are guaranteed. If you break one, you're going to get another one. I believe if all you break is the glass, you can get one of those for about 10 bucks, but they'll replace the whole mirror for you too. So they take good care of us out here. Some other goodies that we have on this bike. Let me see. Something that has really been important for me for a long time has been what MachineArt Moto has brought to the table. This slip screen it replaces the original windscreen, which seems like it's always getting scratched and torn up on these bikes. But the MachineArt Moto, it makes a nice place to put stickers if you want to do that. But it also offers just enough of a vest fairing that it gets the wind to go over you for the most part. Again, I'm about 5'10"-ish, so I don't have a lot of problem getting wind to clear the top of my head. And when I want a little breeze, I can crank this down and I still get some. So for spring and summertime riding on up into the fall, I really like the MachineArt Moto slipscreen. Around to the side, another MachineArt Moto component is their X-head valve cover protectors. These provide, between the outer hard plastic covering and the inner rubber, there's probably a 1/2 to 5/8 of an inch of 80% coverage over your valve cover. So as good as our engine guards are, there's still vulnerability here. And more than one person has had a rock protrude through the engine guards and go right through the valve cover. You're still on the side of the road. You still have to pull that off, and you have to fix it if you have the epoxy to do it. So this prevents that from happening altogether. MachineArt Moto makes a mud sling, which I do not have on this bike currently, but if you're concerned about keeping the mud from the rear tire off of the shock absorber, it does a great job for that. And I have the MachineArt Moto handguards on order. Now, I am a strong advocate of Touratech handguards. I will tell you that up front. I've used them for years. I like them. They're flexible, slightly flexible, but still rigid enough plastic material that I've never broke one. I've heard that you can, but if I haven't, then I question that really. But I've wanted to try the MachineArt Moto. They use a wishbone design. It's a heavy aluminum, beefy aluminum piece that comes out, and it wires as it wraps around. And it has an integral fairing that comes up or down depending on your weather conditions, so you don't have to take it off and put it back on again. It's there for you all the time. So we'll see how that works. Another nice component from MachineArt Moto. Some more things that we have on here. I really would be negligent if I did not talk about the Sargent Saddle and pillion. This saddle has been now on 4 motorcycles of mine. It still looks great. It's nicely broken in, but it felt good the day that I put it on my bike. Sargent uses a fairly firm foam, but because of the shape of it, ergonomically, it works extremely well for me. It's narrow in the front. It provides almost no kick in the back, but it still is supportive. You've got just enough float or dish in here that it's supportive, but you can move around on it. But this being a dirt bike in my world, I need to be able to move around, and the Sargent provides that. And the material's grippy enough and still really tough, but that it kind of helps hold me in place whenever I need to be held in place. The pillion, well, I would let you ask the person holding the camera right now what her opinion is on that, but I think that you'd find that she would suggest that it's quite good. She's ridden a lot of miles on this, especially this past few days. So this happens to be a heated pillion, or excuse me, a heated seat. I do not have the heat function turned on this motorcycle right now, but I've used it. infrequently, but when I've needed it, I was glad that I had it. So Sargent makes great stuff. I have their Mustang Saddle, which is made in the same factory as I understand it, on my Harley Davidson at home. Also fits my ergonomics really, really well. So what else do we have on here that is peripheral to the kind of the big guys? Well, we use Hammerhead Designs shifter and Hammerhead Designs brake lever. So they use a folding shifter. This is CNC machined aluminum, aircraft quality stuff. It's not terribly expensive. It's beautiful if it's not covered with dirt as my stuff is and stuffed with sticks. But yeah, it's really, really nice stuff. And let's look at the brake pedal on the other side. Again, the Hammerhead Designs brake pedal. And this one has the triangular fixed perch for the footrest or the foot to press on. They also make a foldable lever end for this, or pedal end for this as well. I may be changing it out to that. I'm just experimenting with this one for right now. And it took me a little bit to get used to how far in it goes, but I'm getting used to it and I actually kind of like it. Its design allows brush to be deflected off of it without bending this the arm, and this arm is super stiff, super strong, so although I'm sure it could be bent, it's out of harm's way. I've never bent one, and I've had them on countless GSs. I've had more than a dozen GSs and had these on most of them, so it's nice stuff. While we're in the vicinity, let's talk about straps. This is a strap developed specifically for dart by Art Dakos. Art makes slings, harnesses for industrial equipment, and he has agreed to make these straps for us and for our students. This is a 12-foot long strap that is 6,000 pound strength. It's made out of nylon, so it's got quite a bit of flexibility, and it has reinforced loops at both ends of it. We use a peg-to-peg towing system that I was taught in South Africa during the GS Trophy back in 2010. That works really, really well for us. I encourage everybody to keep a strap. These are very inexpensive. Art Dakos can be found on my website at Dragoo.com, as can all of the vendors for the products that we have. If you have trouble finding it, I believe we have a vendors page. If you have trouble finding that, by all means, call me, email me, text me. I'll answer and I'll help you find Art. So anyway, that's kind of an overview of all the goodies that we have on our bike, including a few little peripheral things that are in addition to the big players. Thanks for watching.